It has been my honor and privilege to work with the various teams to write this Gillette Children's Healthcare Press series. The series started with Lily Collison writing the first book, Spastic Diplegia, Bilateral Cerebral Palsy. Lily has lived experience as the parent of her son born with cerebral palsy. I first met Lily in this capacity. Her level of knowledge about her son's condition was clear to me from the outset. She had gone to great lengths to educate herself so that she could advocate for her son and her family. She convinced me several years ago about the need for a book about CP for those with lived experience. For decades, Gillette has had a commitment to worldwide education. In partnership with Gillette Children, she shared her journey and knowledge. The publication of that book in 2020 launched Gillette Children's Healthcare Press. Gillette Children's became one of the first children's hospitals in the world with its own publishing arm. Lily's background in medical science and her passion positioned her to lead this effort. The first book received very positive reviews not only from families and individuals with the condition, but also professionals from diverse backgrounds worldwide. We received feedback that there was need for other books relevant to other conditions. We formed teams to write the healthcare series, maintaining a focus on high-quality, detailed information with an international focus geared toward people and families living with these various conditions. Families and professionals working well together is key to best management of any condition. These books underscore the importance of that family and professional partnership.
We tried to simplify a complex subject for patients and families with a new scoliosis diagnosis. We want the information to be easy to understand so that patients and families can comprehend their treatment options and be comfortable in their decision. We also want them to be aware that scoliosis, in a majority of cases, is able to be managed in an episode of care, meaning that patients are able to live full, unencumbered lives and pursue any and all goals without limitations. This is highlighted in the patient and family stories that are woven throughout the book.
I would tell a kid who recently got diagnosed with scoliosis to stay strong and try not to focus on it too much. I thought when I got diagnosed that it was scary and I didn't know it was going to happen to me, but it ended up not being scary at all because of all the amazing doctors and my family to help me through it. I always felt better knowing that although this is really hard to deal with right now, and it's an experience that most kids don't have to go through, that it'll be over quicker than you realize and you'll feel better about your back in the end. Every kid I eventually ended up telling about my back braces afterwards said that they were sorry I had to go through that and they were amazed at how well I did while I was diagnosed and now.
Lila was 12 years old when she was diagnosed, although her pediatrician had been monitoring her for potential scoliosis for years. Shortly after her diagnosis, Lila was fitted for a brace, and eventually she had both a daytime and a nighttime brace. While Lila wore her braces regularly for about 18 months, her curve continued to worsen. With the guidance of her doctor, we made the decision for Lila to have surgery. Today, nearly 20 months after her surgery, Lila is a happy, healthy, very active teenager. We are thankful for the care from her doctor and her care team, and grateful for Lila to have had the opportunity to have this surgery. While Lila is still a growing teen and her scoliosis journey continues, we are confident in our decisions and believe we have done everything we can to support her. I encourage all parents and caregivers to ask questions of your care team and take in all of the information. Once you have all the information and know your options, use that knowledge to make the best decision available for your child at the time. No one knows your child as well as you do. If your child is able to weigh in on that decision, allow them to also hear the information and ask questions. Stay positive and be brave with them through all phases of the journey. Wearing a brace in middle school is a very brave thing for a teen to do. As parents and caregivers, we can support our child by reassuring them that this time in their life does not define them and that having to wear a brace is most often a phase. Ask your child what they need to get through this time. It may be as simple as wearing a large sweatshirt over their brace at school. And have hope. Lila's scoliosis diagnosis has been, ironically, such a positive part of her life story. It has given her fortitude, confidence, and a positive attitude.
If you were to look up the definition of scoliosis, you would find many sources defining it as a sideways curvature of the spine. This is generally correct, but a more accurate definition of scoliosis is a condition in which there is an atypical, three-dimensional curvature and rotation of the spine. There are many types of scoliosis with varied causes. This book focuses on a type of scoliosis called idiopathic scoliosis. The term idiopathic is defined as relating to a disease of unknown cause, and it is used in the context of many medical conditions for which the cause is unclear or unknown. Idiopathic scoliosis is, therefore, scoliosis that develops from an unknown cause. There are a few theories about the mechanisms that cause the spine to grow in a curved and rotated fashion in idiopathic scoliosis. Perhaps the most accepted is that the front of the spine grows faster than the back of the spine. As the front grows faster, the spine begins to rotate, twist, and curve to the side. However, ultimately, it is unclear what causes these mechanisms to develop in the first place. Individuals with idiopathic scoliosis are otherwise typically developing with no related underlying medical conditions. Idiopathic scoliosis is the most common type of scoliosis, accounting for an estimated 80% of all cases. Idiopathic scoliosis affects between 0.5 and 3% of children. For the large majority, no specific intervention is needed at all. For others, treatment such as bracing or surgery is needed to effectively manage the condition. While diagnosis and treatment can be challenging, individuals with idiopathic scoliosis can expect to lead typical lives.
For this series, I worked with the authors and other editors to ensure that the books explain the complexities of the conditions and their management. The latter combines best available evidence from international research, along with clinical expertise of our providers. The books also include the lived experience. Having this grounding in the best available evidence and the family perspective on these complex conditions will ultimately help families and healthcare professionals make the most informed care choices. Gillette Children's Healthcare Press furthers Gillette's vision to create a world in which every child is able to create their own story. These books will serve as a resource to provide information about these conditions and assist families as they look to the future. Not only will patients and families benefit, but we know based on prior publications that other healthcare providers and professionals around the world who work with individuals with complex medical conditions will use these books to further their own knowledge and better serve these patient populations. Gillette strives to build a better world, and I'm incredibly proud to see the publication of this book series do exactly that, furthering Gillette's global advocacy work.